Oh, look, the preparations have been good. It's probably more about integrating and getting to know the mechanisms and the systems and how a national team works for me. But we've been great in sort of the first couple of days in terms of formulating the processes, and more importantly, meeting a lot of the players, which has been fantastic. But the first couple of days have been really positive.
Ellie, you come back to the camp after personal leave. Congratulations. How has it been the first couple of days back in CommBank Matildas?
Yeah, it's really nice to come back into the squad here in Perth. Obviously first camp with Joe as well. I think it's important now that we have a full-time coach, and you can see already by day 3 we've implemented a new style of play, a new rhythm. I think it's really important to really nail those down the first couple of days, to really set up, the next couple of years here with Joe and the team. And yeah, these next 2 weeks is going to be really important for the team to try to apply that in these 4 games, and I'm really excited for the future.
We'll start with Ash from Channel 10.
Just talking about style of play for Joe, what's been the main messaging there, and how are we expecting, I guess, the Matildas to go out there over the next couple of games in terms of what you're wanting to implement from Joe?
Yeah, Joe's really experienced, obviously internationally. He's played around the world, coached at the biggest clubs, and I think the most important thing that he's implemented so far is possession-based football, and I think we're very capable of doing that. And even the last 2 sessions, I think the girls have, learning new language that maybe they haven't heard before, and I think we've really implemented that very well in the short space of time that we have. So yeah, I guess you'll be seeing us more with the ball, controlling the game, a lot of possession-based, and also, exciting football, which I think this team needs to get back to playing, and I think we're really going to thrive under Joe. And like I said, these 2 weeks is a great opportunity for us to implement that, and I guess the first step into this new cycle.
There's a host of, big names from the Matildas that we know that aren't here. How's the feeling in the camp, I guess, with the next generation coming through and hopefully getting some experience, although they might not necessarily be caps?
Yeah, I think it's exciting because you look at this group and we've seen a lot of new debutants come in the last 3 or 4 years. Also with a new coach coming in, it creates a very challenging environment. It creates an environment that people are pushing for those Asian Cup spots, obviously next year. This camp, I guess, is a great test for those, an opportunity for them to showcase why they want to be in Matilda if they can be to the level that, Joe's looking for. And I think it's a great opportunity for those younger ones to show themselves in these 4 games. Like I said, I think the depth that we've created over the 3-4 years, we have a number of players playing at the highest level and also young talent coming through. So I think this is really important because, we need depth at those major tournaments, and this is a perfect time to show that.
Joe, just last one from me. You've got a big squad here. Are you anticipating, provided everyone's fit and healthy, to play? And then just on top of that, the 2 girls that you're bringing in now that Claire Villa has left for personal reasons?
It's a bit of both because we've got players coming in at all different sort of levels that have played, haven't played. So I think it's important to sort of integrate the ones that need a little bit more time. They're off season or out of season. So it could be that we use it as a training sort of scenario to get them ready at certain points. But look, we'll look at a few different ideas. We'll look at a few different ways of approach, and obviously, the more we can get on the pitch, and the more we can, I suppose, get the messages out there on the pitch, I think would be really, really important.
The 2 girls that you're bringing in as well, can you talk a little bit about what they've offered, particularly in the A-League?
Yeah, look, I think both of them have obviously been in and around and about the Matildas, and we sort of brought them in a little bit earlier just to make sure that we're covered for these couple of games, and I wanted to give them a little bit more time. So basically, they can join us a little bit earlier and have, instead of having a couple of weeks, they can have 3 weeks, which is good.
Joe, you're a day out from the first game. How are the feelings, emotions, nerves?
Look, I suppose anticipation. Just just seeing where we're at. It's a good benchmark. It's a good gauge for us. But it is the official start of our build-up for the Asian Cup. So, yes, I am looking at a lot of players. Yes, I am trying to instill some language. Yes, I am trying to instill some new ideas. But, the approach to the game is still the same. We're playing at home. We're in our country. So the attitude has to be, it's a big game. It's a game that we want to win. It's a game that we want to make sure that we do the right things to get that mentality leading into a big tournament.
Ellie, you're obviously at Leon with Joe. How have these first few sessions with Matildas compared to Joe's first sessions at Leon?
Yeah, I think Joe has a style, and obviously with his coaching staff as well, and very similar ways he trains. And I think bringing that training method here into the national team is really going to boost us and also develop the girls here who maybe have not been exposed to that type of training, the type of language, the technical sessions as well. So it's really exciting, and nothing happens overnight or over 48 hours for our first 2 sessions, but at least we've implemented the base, and we can keep building from there.
Joe, obviously Sam Kerr is in Perth and has kind of linked up with the squad. She won't obviously be playing, but what can you tell us about her involvement in this window?
Yeah, look, it's fundamentally a situation where she's now building her physical capacity, and we'll monitor that through. And the important thing is we're working with Chelsea to make sure that she's right for pre-season, and she gets some games under her belt. So it is an individual sort of process, but it's great to have her around the group, and and her energy is fantastic.
And Ellie, how much of a mental boost does Sam bring to the group?
Yeah, massive. She's a massive player, also a massive character for the team. Obviously, she's been absent from the team for a while, so it's nice to have her, training individually, and hopefully soon she can be back with us.
Any further questions? Neil.
Joe, first trip back to Perth since you were with Melbourne City, is that correct?
Yeah, I actually was. I can't remember what the last game was. It was a while back. It was a while back.
It was at Ashfield.
Was it?
Slightly different stadium to this one.
Yeah, it was at Ashfield, but we played a final here, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
We won I won a grand. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No
Yeah. So,
reminds about that.
no, sorry, I didn't mean to sort of mention it, but it's a nice ground.
But by being in WA, and Ben's just touched on Sam, the number or the lack of WA players, is this a good opportunity now for you to really start to look at the situation in WA to say, well, why is this state not producing any Matildas?
Yeah, I think it's a general thing. I think there's been a lot of comments made on the A-League and development and where it's all going. And part of my role coming back, and obviously basing myself in Australia, is to make sure that we put those structures in place. It's all good to identify. It's all good to say yes, we have talent and so on. But how do we develop that talent? And for me, it's really simple. We've just got to put them in competition where they're challenged and playing regularly. So, it's looking at development as a whole. And yeah, Western Australia will be one that we'll be looking at, because there's always been a bit of talent coming out of here, and I can't give you the numbers of what's available now or what's coming through, but the reality is part of my role is to really look at that next generation, and to make it a healthy sort of sustainable process that we set ourselves up for the next 5, 10, 15 years.